These are 3 retirement regrets that I think are super important, but unfortunately you don't hear much about them. And the reason you don't hear much about them is because they're controversial, right? Nobody wants to be the bad guy. And I don't want to be the bad guy either, but I think they're important that you know. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to jump right in with the most controversial one, which is sometimes parents stretch too much to help their adult children beyond their college education, their professional training, where the kids have the tools that they need to begin their lives on their own. And where it can be really tempting to do that is with further education after an undergraduate degree. Classic example is an MBA or getting another master's. I've even seen flight school, which is $100,000, right? And it's great to do any of those things, and I really encourage it. And if you've got enough money to be able to support your kids doing that, that's great. It's your money. You absolutely should do that if that lines up with the things that are important to you and your family. But where I caution folks is if you're close on the numbers for retirement, and it's really a stretch to help this child out with education, right? They do have student loans for education, but they don't have retirement loans. And it's hard to do that, I know. But that's where oftentimes the biggest gift that we can give our kids is for us to be financially secure in our retirement. And if we put that at risk by overstretching, I don't think that helps anybody. So I know it's controversial. It's not a judgment call. I see it, I've heard it, and I just want to share it. Please be kind in the comments. The second controversial retirement regret is oftentimes, and this is very common, oftentimes people have a hard time transitioning from saving in their retirement accounts to actually spending their retirement money, right? Let's say that they say they want $10,000 a month, just to make up a number. It is not uncommon for families to save $2,000 a month of that, just because that's what they've always done. But if you're sacrificing unnecessarily to do that, really because you're having, just mentally a hard time transitioning into spending from your retirement account, you may very well regret that later. Because these are your healthy years, right? These are your active years. You want to hit the ground running when you first retire. And so prepare for this ahead of time. Just know it's going to be hard to transition and actually spending money out of your 401k, your IRA, your retirement savings accounts. And one tip I have for you is there's a great book. It's called Die with Zero, that was written by Bill Perkins. And some of his philosophy is something that you can begin practicing years before you retire, and even really decades before you retire. So it's a great book. I highly recommend it. I hope you find it helpful. And then the third regret that I see is people that could have retired earlier, but they didn't because they weren't ready emotionally, right? They were focusing on the numbers and waiting till they got to the number, and then they realized, I don't know what I'm going to do in retirement. I don't have friends outside of work. I get all of my purpose and identity through work. And it ends up a regret in retirement because once you make that transition, you look back and you say, oh my gosh, why did I keep working? I was fortunate, the stock market did really, really well. And, I'd saved up well, and I could have retired at 58 or 60 or 60, whatever the age is. And you know what? Those are dog years. These are our healthiest active years. And, once those years are gone, they're gone. And once people have made that transition, they look back with regret. And I don't want this to happen to any of you, which is why I'm sharing these common but controversial regrets. So please be kind in the comments. If you like this video, please give me a like. It's super important. It really does help my channel. So take a second, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Azul, encouraging you to take full advantage of the youth of your senior years. Remember, you're only young once. Use this time wisely.